Hello all, Holly back here. Here's a little project that I've been working on. It's my Proto 1000 via RDC. What I intend to do is install a micro camera in this. Now what I wanted to do was I wanted to try to have the camera installed above the PCB board. But there's not a lot of room above the board in this zone here. There's enough room here. So I have to get the camera in as well as the decoder. So I opted to, well, my original thoughts were to have the camera, decoder, and have some lighting in here for the seating. But since it didn't fit, I'm going to still have the decoder, which will be up in this zone. I'm not even going to install sound. But I removed the seating because I just want to use this as a camera car. So with that being said, I removed the seating nice and neatly right at the color where the plastic changed color from the black to this tan. And I just roughly routed the camera through. I had to make a cut. See if I can get that to focus. I made a cut here with a hacksaw to get the ribbon wire to go through. I'm going to use this cut-off weight. I'm going to glue it. I temporarily taped it there, but it's not working, so I'm going to use a hot glue and I'll glue it all into place. And there's the camera head. It's very small. So with that being said, there will be no lighting. I may eventually do something to black out the windows so you can't see in, but for now I'm not worried. I'll install the decoder shortly, and what will happen is to unobstruct and clear up the view, I remove the windshield from the front of the shell. So that's clear, and with any luck, if I do this right, the camera will come and just be right there in that center door window, pointing forward. So this will be a first-person view. The camera is supposed to be 1080p. I'm pretty sure it is. And what I'm going to do, I started making these circuits to convert the track power to DC and also have like a capacitor to have continuous current. But this one didn't work. That ends up being 400 microfarads and didn't quite work the way I wanted it to. So I went and I built another one. Since I don't have the seating, this will fit in between the bottom of the car and the PCB board. And it's 1000 microfarad. So it's got a bridge rectifier, which takes the AC power, converts it to DC, charges the capacitor, and this is a buck converter. Now this buck converter, what it does is it takes track power that's been converted to DC, which is between 12 and 14 volts, and I turn that little screw at the tip of my finger and I can reduce the power. And right now I've got it to about 4.8 volts, and then I just apply it here. When I tested this circuit with just an LED, it didn't keep the LED lit the way I wanted it to. So I took a second 1000 microfarad capacitor, and what I'll end up doing, I know it's not clean and neat and tidy, but I'm going to basically solder it here and bridge it so it will have 2000 microfarads, and then I'll just connect the camera to my buck converter, and this held a light charge for a very long time. It dimmed, but it kept getting dimmer and dimmer, but it stayed lit. So 2000 microfarads. Now, to get the track power, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add leads to the board, front and back, so I can get both trucks constant power. And I'm going to run one wire underneath, and I'm going to glue just a switch underneath so I can turn the camera on and off without having it constant. And I basically cut a USB, a micro USB, off of a cord. And the blue and the red will be the positive and negative, and I'll solder that to the buck converter, and we'll have track power. So track power from front and back trucks running through to the micro USB, which will power the camera and turn the camera on. And I'll have a switch underneath, just a micro switch that turns it on and off, so there's a little bit of play there. Alright, now this is a wireless camera, HD 1080p. Here's the antenna, and I'm going to basically have it in there as well. All will be tucked inside, and then the shell, it'll look just like a regular RDC. So I'm going to continue with this project, and I'll give you an update later. Cheers. Alright, so I have the camera installed. The circuit that converts AC to DC. 5 volts, everything was tested and checked. I have the camera mounted on the front, decoder installed, not programmed yet, so I'll go and I'll put the shell on, just loosely right now. I have the switch for the camera wired, and there's the camera. Let me see if I can get it in there. You can see it there. There's the camera. And it looks great. You can see right down track view. I'll turn it on and I'll come back and show you what it looks like. Okay? See you in a minute. Alright. So the shell is on. Couplers are installed. Power is on. You can see that light. That light is the camera. Now this camera broadcasts a Wi-Fi signal, and with the right software you can see it on your phone or your tablet or even your PC. There it is there. So that is looking right down the track. So as you can see, there's a delay in the video, but that's my hand. So I have the decoder at address 3. I can go ahead and turn on the headlight. Or maybe turn it off. Oh, I've got it in reverse. Let's turn it around here. There we go. There's the light. So the computer screen switched off. There we go. So I'm going to have to take it apart and lube up the motor and whatnot. It's a bit loud, but it hasn't been used in a long time. But here, let's dial her up. And as you can see, we're going down the track. I will eventually switch out those incandescents with LEDs, but there we go. So I can't wait to try this out on the show. I've got to as I said, lube it up. I may change out those lights and maybe find a different software that'll make that go full screen, and maybe we can share it on a television screen and get more than what's shown. Anyway, that's it in a nutshell. Thanks for watching. Okay. Quick update. I installed LEDs here and here, front and rear. Did the proper modifications to the board. Removed the diodes, added the resistors. Didn't like the micro USB connection. It was intermittent power, so I cut the connector off of the battery that came with the camera, wired it into my circuit, and now there's constant power. No problem. So turn on the light. Oh. Nice bright LED. It's a golden white. It's not the really bright white. Same thing with the rear. Quickly put the shell on and I'll show you how it looks. So the shell's just loose right now, but we'll pop the light on there and take a little look. There's a little bit of bleed into the cab, but that's alright. Reverse. That's pretty good. And actually, with the bleed in the cab, you can see where the lens of the camera is. Hopefully that doesn't affect the picture quality. That'll be the next test. Alright, so here's the camera on my computer. Going forward. In reverse. And now we'll add some light. Doesn't actually affect the camera picture, which is great. You can see the light on my finger. That's pretty cool. Huh. And there it is. Put some KD couplers on it, and we're good to go.